following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And a welcome into the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene's alongside. It's a Friday morning, and that means Football Friday. We get into all of the NFL games coming up this weekend. Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. I see another 35-0 coming.
I don't see it being quite as vast of a spread.
Yeah, it's going to be close, though.
Well, this game's going to be gross. It's going to be cold. Weather forecast is calling for this to be about 45 degrees. It's going to rain throughout most of it.
Right.
This has disgusting, horrid 17-0 written all over it.
Oh, I'd agree. Because here's the thing. Miami doesn't do a lot of good things offensively.
Especially not things that don't involve throwing the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Myles Gaskin, Malcolm Brown, they're not really known as a run-first kind of a team. Tua Tagovailoa has been getting better, though. Over the last couple of weeks, and I get that it's been porous competition, but still, you've seen growth. You've seen where even, sports freak Brian Hall, boss man here at ESPN Asheville, he's talking about, I've kind of backed off of that whole we need Deshaun Watson thing because Tua has looked efficient in the last couple of weeks. Throwing for 400 yards, that'll do it. But you're not going to be able to do it against the Buffalo Bills.
How many? So one of my favorite metrics is estimated points added per run.
Okay.
What would you say the Miami Dolphins is every time they run the ball?
Estimated points added every time you run the ball.
Really good teams are like 0.15, 0.2, somewhere in there.
Let's say minus 0.3.
They're minus 0.25. They
was
lose
close.
a quarter of a point
close.
every time they run the ball.
Yeah.
And so this is a game that you're telling me it's going to be wet.
Yep.
And it's going to be cold and it's going to be gross.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only laying 13.5 with Buffalo. This one's easy to me. I think it's going to be somewhere in that neighborhood of 17-0, 20-3, 24-6. I won't do the Pete Prisco thing and say, "Hey, Buffalo's going to cover," and then give you. I'll take Buffalo 12-0. Pete, that's not.
That was
how
one
this
of the
works.
best. That's one of the best of the week.
The best part was that none of his editors caught it. Like,
yeah.
Pete, math.
Yeah,
math is fun.
Yeah. So the spread was Miami plus 14 was his pick, and then he gave the final score of 33-17.
Oh wait,
16 points. 16 points, buddy.
Great big fat person.
He's a great big fat person.
It really defeats the purpose
Screw
when
that
you
guy.
don't hit the.
What?
Oh wait.
There we go.
Oh
You're
wait.
a great big fat person.
Oh wait.
So it's a Zach Moss game?
I don't hate Zach Moss. I don't really love anything from this. There's nothing in this that's like a DFS no doubt play for me. I mean, if you have Josh Allen, you're playing him because you don't have a better alternative.
Right.
I look for this to be Josh Allen has somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 yards passing, probably 45 to 60 yards rushing, somewhere there. I would say he probably falls in the end zone for a touchdown. But there's not a lot to like here for me.
You couldn't put this line high enough, or Vegas couldn't put the line high enough for me.
Especially this is a week that you've got 15 games, obviously starting with the game last night. There's only 2 teams on a bye, and this is the only weather game we have. Maybe outside of Chiefs and the Giants.
Right.
And that's only possible. I'm avoiding this game at all costs. Nothing I really like. I don't want any Miami Dolphin.
Yeah.
And I'll say I got to pick a score here, so I'll go Buffalo 20-3. So I'm taking Buffalo minus the 13.5, and I'm going under.
Okay, I'm going
48.5. By the way,
under
48.5.
Yeah,
in a rain game with one bad offense.
Yeah, 27-6 seems about right to me. I think a couple of field goals for the Miami Dolphins, nothing more than that. You're not going to see a whole lot from the passing game. It's easily Buffalo minus the 14 for me.
Agreed.
And, Buffalo minus the 14 and under. The Carolina Panthers go to the Atlanta Falcons. The Carolina Panthers are a 3-point dog on the road at the Falcons, and I get that the Falcons are riding high, won a couple of games. Kyle Pitts and Matt Ryan seem to be on the same page now. You know, the stats didn't look good over the first month of the season. The last 2 games, Kyle Pitts has really come on. And, 16 catches for 282 yards in 2 weeks. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And I think he'll be fine in this game, but I'm still taking Carolina.
I am too.
Look.
This is the last time, though. This is the last time you're going to get me.
I can't tell you the Panthers are going to win this game. I think they will because I think they're drastically better than the Falcons. The Falcons' defense is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want to talk about a game to get right. Your offense hasn't been good since McCaffrey's been gone. Sam Darnold got benched last week. Okay, cool. Here's the perfect elixir. Go play the Atlanta Falcons because they can't stop shit. Oh, you said that last week about the Giants. Yeah, I know. Things happen sometimes. The Atlanta Falcons legitimately cannot stop anything. So this to me is more of a shootout. Here's one of the most mind-boggling stats you'll hear all week.
Okay.
The over-under in Miami Buffalo is 48.5.
Mm-hmm.
In a rain game with an average to bad offense in it. What's the over-under in Carolina, Atlanta?
43.
It's 46.
46. Over.
Aggressively.
Yeah.
This is one of my sneaky shootout games for DFS this week.
I could see that happening. They've got to get the problems figured out on the offensive side of the ball, though, for the Carolina Panthers. I mean, I looked up the stat this morning. 18 dropped passes. 18! That's 5 more than any other team in the NFL. Robbie Anderson has 7, DJ Moore has 5, and Chuba Hubbard's dropped 3. Now, Chuba's not going to be a problem after next week, hopefully when Christian McCaffrey comes back. You won't have to worry about that, and then those drop passes, you would think, kind of disappear. But this is Sam's time. This is Sam's time to step up and show everybody that he's not just god-awful like people expect he is. He's just he doesn't have a lot of things going for him. He's one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL. He's been sacked 21 times this year. That's tied with 2 other quarterbacks. Would you like to take a guess at who the other quarterbacks who have been sacked 21 times this year?
Zach Wilson.
Nope.
Oh. How?
He's number 1. Zach Wilson's number 1. He's been sacked more than 21 times.
Oh, okay. I wasn't listening to you. I'm not gonna
Yeah. Sam is tied for second with 2 other quarterbacks. Would you like to guess who they are?
Justin Fields.
Nope. Lamar Jackson and Ryan Tannehill. The problem is Sam Darnold doesn't have those explosive plays, the getaway plays, that make people think of him in the same category as those other 2. He's also tied in for the second most interceptions in the NFL with Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow with 8. Only Patrick Mahomes and Zach Wilson have more at 9. I'm throwing out these names as like, look, he's not alone in having problems with his offensive line. He's not, throwing the ball away to the other team. He's not alone in all of this. So the problem is he doesn't do anything outside of those things to make you go, nah, he's good. I think this is the week that he turns it around, though. I'm easily on Carolina plus the 3, and I'm going over.
I think you're going to see a lot of players come back for Carolina, too. You got Stephon Gilmore, who I do think will play in this game.
Right.
Shaq Thompson.
Matt Rule said he's hopeful that Gilmore will play.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this going, the player that I'm looking at going, I could see me being all over you is DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think A.J. Terrell is going to draw Robbie Anderson. They tend to play sides, not shadows. So I'm going to like DJ Moore. I like the idea of DJ Moore and Cordero Patterson as a DFS stack in this game.
Okay.
But I'm taking Carolina, and I'm going the over.
All right, the Philadelphia Eagles take on the Detroit Lions. The Lions are a 3.5-point dog at home. And
you just can't
think
help
that's
yourself.
too much.
And
I
you
think it's
just
too much.
cannot help yourself, can
I
you?
think it's too much. Philadelphia sucks, and I believe Detroit's better. I'll be flat honest with you. I think Detroit is the better team.
Well, I'm going to be flat honest with you, and I think that's one of the 5 dumbest things I've ever heard you say out loud.
Uh-huh.
Because the Detroit Lions are bad. They're just not very talented. I mean, I'm not saying they don't play hard.
Mm-hmm.
How in the hell are they going to stop Jalen Hurts? I mean, this is
Oh,
one team
rushing.
that he actually can throw on because they're that bad in the secondary.
Yeah, they are that bad in the secondary. But I think they're also that good in rushing the quarterback. They are, statistically speaking, one of the best teams rushing the football or rushing the passer.
Yeah.
They have one of the highest blitz rates in the NFL, and you know what? I think they can get after him. Philadelphia's line is not that good. I think they've given up like the 5th most pressures all year long. And listen, this is one of those where I'm going to take your page out of your book. I get the better coach, I get the better quarterback, and I'm at home.
You don't get the better quarterback.
I absolutely do.
No, you don't.
Jared Goff is better than Jalen Hurts.
Not in Detroit. He's not. I mean, I don't know what metric you want to use, but they all tell me I'm right.
Oh, okay.
Jared Goff has been a far inferior quarterback to Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying Jalen Hurts has been good.
Mm-hmm.
Just Hurts has been better. Jared Goff's bad. Detroit's bad. Philadelphia -3.5. Easy to me. I don't think this game's even close. I'll take the under just solely because I don't think there's gonna be a ton of scoring.
What's the number?
If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you. Boop boop ba-doop boop. Man, that's a lot of games on the screen. There it is.
Yeah.
It is 48.
Yeah, I'll go under.
I don't see any way that covers in the freaking least.
Mm-hmm. 20-18, Detroit Lions get their first win of the season.
Statistically, if you go Pro Football Focus grades, who has the worst defense in the NFL?
The worst defense in the NFL? It's got to be Washington.
Nope.
It's got to be.
Why am I asking
the
this?
Atlanta Falcons?
Nope.
The
Why am I
Miami
asking-
Dolphins?
Why am I asking
The
this?
Detroit Lions.
With a bullet, and it's not all that close. This is easy. This is easy. They missed this number by a full point and a half to me. This Philadelphia, it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia -3.5 under the 48.
I disagree.
Which
Disagree
actually
highly.
just makes me like it more.
Oh, that's fine. Again, you can be wrong if you want to.
Oh, you're
Detroit has
you're
played-
going to regret you said that.
Detroit has played the hardest schedule so far this season, and that's why they're 0-7. If they could play lesser teams like this, I think they could win a couple of games.
I disagree with you, and you're getting ready to find out because they play a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be the first of many losses. I could honestly see Detroit not winning a game.
Mm.
I could see this team going 0-17.
Yeah.
I like Dan Campbell. I've said that enough times. I don't have to repeat it.
Right.
But this team just has a lack of talent.
Okay. All right. We will agree to disagree, and we shall see on Sunday.
That you could be wrong. Okay. When this is 27-6, I'm going to remind you said that.
Okay.
Kind of like, what was that thing? Jets plus
Jets
7.
plus 7.
Yeah, hashtag Jets plus 7. Only missed it by 50.
Yeah, that's very true. The Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. In Indianapolis for a 1 o'clock start. They're in the AFC South. This one was hard for me because I really like Tennessee, but I like the trajectory that Indianapolis has been showing.
As do I.
Carson Wentz, I think he's figured something out.
This has letdown game written all over it for me.
For the Tennessee Titans. 2 emotional victories in a row, going up against a team that they feel that they're better than.
How much of the money in Vegas do you think is on the Colts?
52%.
It's 57. What percentage of tickets?
64.
36.
Okay.
Which means the sharp money's on Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
I think they missed this should be a pick 'em, probably, but I like Indianapolis at home. They need this game more. If you lose this game, the division's out of reach.
Right.
So who needs it more? Who wants it more? I like Indianapolis.
Okay.
No, don't get me wrong. I don't think they're a better team. I think this game means way more to them. The hardest part of this game for me was the over-under.
Which is?
51.
I'm going to go over.
God. That's what I wanted to do. You know what? I'm over.
Yeah.
I'm over. I don't want to.
I'm going over. And I'm taking Tennessee plus the 1. I think it's ridiculous that they're a dog on the road to Indianapolis. I don't know. I can see this game very well ending up being like a 33-23 ball game. Both sides are able to move the ball. Carson Wentz probably will extend his streak here of 4 games in a row where he's thrown multiple touchdown passes and no interceptions. Jonathan Taylor does fine. But in the end, the last time these two teams played, Tennessee won pretty easily. They won by 9, and they didn't have either of their receivers. That was the Nakina Westbrook game, and who else? Chester,
Akina.
yeah,
Nick Westbrook Akina.
Yeah, Chester Rogers scored a touchdown, and Jeremy McNichols got a touchdown. Derrick Henry ran for 113 yards last time on him, and I think he's going to do that, and he'll probably hit the end zone twice. I think Tennessee wins this game. The LA Rams are at the Houston Texans.
This should not take a real long time.
No, Rams minus 14.5. We can move on.
Oh, God, I hate giving numbers this big. I really do.
Yeah, but
I hate giving numbers this big. But I'm gonna.
I was gonna say it doesn't matter. Did you know? I know you know because I told you this earlier. But did you know so far this season, double-digit favorites in the NFL have covered the spread 11 out of 14 times.
And it's just the discrepancy between the good and the bad.
Yep. And the Rams will have no problem covering this against Houston. Houston's god-awful. They have no hope for the future. And it is what it is.
This will probably be your last Davis Mills game.
Yeah, with Tyrod Taylor coming back.
Yeah, I think he comes back next week. Over-under's 47.5. I'll go under. I'll go under, and I will give the 14.5 to the Rams. I think this is going to end up being like 31-3.
Mm-hmm.
Just god-awful, gross, squish them like a bug. This is not one of those games that I think they're going to hang around in.
Yeah.
But mainly because I don't know how you're – first of all, you pissed the team off by trading Mark Ingram.
Right.
Which – don't ask me to explain that because I can't. Oh, he's a nice guy. Cool. He got out. Kind of like getting out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get mad when somebody gets out of prison.
But Mark Ingram,
now the Houston Texans are very much like a prison.
Yeah, but Mark Ingram, I mean, I understand why they're mad. They're mad because, I mean, he's a glue guy. He was that in New Orleans. He's that in Baltimore. And now with Houston, he's a likable guy in the locker room. And that's why Brandon Cooks went immediately to Twitter and said, this is bullshit.
Yeah, you're bad. You're bad, and this is how it works. You got draft picks for a player that had absolutely no future with you.
Right.
Good for the Houston Texans.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do it with more guys. Zach Cunningham, Brandon Cooks, just a slew of other guys.
Yep.
They won't, but they should.
Yeah.
This team's bad. I think you're going to see the effects of the Ingram trade this week.
Mm-hmm.
I can see this being one of those listless games where you just go, good God, how are you even an NFL team?
Right. Speaking of, the New York Jets last week burned me on my +7 pick.
Hashtag Jets +7.
Yeah, Jets +7, and they lose by 40. Great.
How'd that work for you?
This week, the Jets are taking on the hottest team in the NFL in the Cincinnati Bengals. And
this shouldn't be a real deep
could be
analysis
worse.
either. This could be worse than the Rams at Houston because Cincinnati has something to prove.
I was going to say this
road.
could be worse than the Patriots-Jets game from last week.
No, it ain't going to be that bad. Games like that are rare.
Right.
But this game will never be close. The Jets have absolutely no ability to stop them.
Mm-mm.
I will tell you this, though. There's a lot of sharp money on the Jets. A lot.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The money's almost cut in half, and the tickets are 85-15.
Wonder why.
Because there's a lot of points, and there's a lot of people that don't believe in the Bengals.
Yeah. I mean,
now,
I can understand.
What they're not seeing is that this is a Jets team that is dead.
Putrid.
Rex Ryan basically said this team has quit on Rob Salah. There was no fight, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting Mike White, the pride of Western Kentucky, Mike White. By the way, one of the funniest things I've seen all week was somebody took the picture of Mike White's player profile on CBS and said, this is what it looks like when you're in year 14 of your Madden franchise and all the players you've ever heard of have retired.
Here's Mike White. Cincinnati is a 10.5-point favorite. They couldn't have put this line high enough.
It's not enough.
Yep. Cincinnati minus the 10.5. What's the over-under?
43.
43.
I'll go over.
Yeah.
I'll go over solely because I can see Jamar Chase having 200 fucking yards in this game again.
Mm-hmm. Man, imagine that. He's already got the NFL record for the most yards in a 7-game span. He puts up another 200, he'll be in the stratosphere.
Yeah, this game's not going to be close. This is an easy one for me. It's the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
My Jets are just listless. We're sitting around waiting for 2 top 10 picks next year.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are at the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are a 3.5-point favorite at home. The good news for them, it looks like they're going to get Nick Chubb back off of the injury.
The bad news is they're probably going to get back Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. There is that. Baker is hopeful that he's going to play this week. I still feel like they should have shelved him, but that's neither here nor there. I don't get to make that call. Roll on with Case Keenum if it's me. But Baker Mayfield coming back. I like Pittsburgh in this game.
I do too, plus the 3.5. I would say this is a field goal game either way.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
I don't really think there's a huge difference between these two teams. I don't. You're a mediocre quarterback, a good running back. Right now, line instability because you don't know if Jack Conklin's going to play or not.
True.
And I'll be honest with you, I really don't care. I don't think they're going to be able to run as easily on Pittsburgh as people think.
Mm-hmm.
That puts the onus on Baker Mayfield, and I'm good.
Right. I know Cleveland's been pretty good against the run. Well, they've been really good against the run this year. I think they're number 2 in the league as far as giving up yardage. The problem is, I mean, Najee Harris has been coming on in the last couple of weeks.
Well, you can just do it so many different ways.
Right, and he's also a threat in the passing game. I could see him hurting that defense, especially since they're going to be without Malik Jackson's probably not going to play this week. Jadeveon Clowney is also doubtful. I know the secondary is going to be without Denzel Ward again. The defense for the Cleveland Browns is just beat up. Mm-hmm. And you look at all the weapons that Ben Roethlisberger has to use, and they're hearing all of this. They're hearing all of the talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't that good, to the point where their coach is being disrespected in press conferences, asking him if he's going to go coach college football. I think that gives them a little something. I like Pittsburgh to outright win this game.
I don't like them to outright win, I don't think. I'm not moneyline confident, but I'm plus 3.5 confident.
Yeah, definitely plus 3.5. What's the over-under?
42.
That's too little. I think it's over.
I disagree with
you
vehemently.
Really?
I think they missed this by 3 full points. I would have taken this at 39.5.
Okay.
And then that's where I would have set it, by the way. This is 2 bad offenses. This is 2 bottom 7 in the NFL offenses. And 2 top 5 in the NFL defenses. Mm-hmm. That's a recipe for a 10-6 game.
I hope not. I like to see more competitive games.
I have it 13-10.
13-10.
That's my score projection for this game.
God, I hope there's more scoring in this game than that. And I think there will be. I could see this being, a 23 to
23 to what?
I don't know.
There you go.
Don't know.
Yeah, you're about to do that Pete Prisco thing.
Yeah, I was going to do that.
Math.
27-20. How about that?
I don't see a fucking snowball's chance in hell that happens.
Taking Pittsburgh plus the 3.5. I'm going over. Jeremy, you're going under.
I'm going under Pittsburgh plus the 3.5.
Yep. San Francisco. It's a 4-point favorite on the road at the Chicago Bears.
If I could rewind one of my picks, this would be it, which means you need to go to betus.com, use promo code Sportsocracy, and bet the farm on the Bears. Mm-hmm. Because damn near every time I say that, that's how it ends up going. This is the one. We set these last night, and damn it, I have thought about this.
Mm-hmm.
I got this wrong.
Okay.
I'm sticking with my pick because it's the one on the screen, but it's going to. I should have taken Chicago.
You think Chicago is going to win the game outright or just to keep it close?
I do. I think they're going to win outright.
Why?
I don't think San Francisco is very good at this point.
Okay.
And do I think Chicago's very good? No.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, I'll tell you exactly what swayed me. Seeing Khalil Mack's not going to play.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm right, that's why. Because you're not going to be able to get pressure at the same rate that you're used to. You know what? I'd rewind it. Fuck
Rewind.
it. 49ers, don't rush. Let's go.
I was going to say, you're given the number one point of why I picked the San Francisco 49ers to win this game. Without Khalil Mack, I'm not really scared much of the defense.
No,
I still
and
get
you
they got
shouldn't be.
Robert Quinn, and they got some okay pieces.
Robert Quinn's on the COVID-19 list.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, well, fuck it. Yeah, I mean, that's...
He may or may not play this.
Yeah, that makes it even worse for me. I get that I'm wishy-washy on San Francisco to begin with. I honestly believe that they're better than the 2-4 that they've been. They've lost 4 games in a row. This is a perfect opportunity for them to go, hey, you know what? We do remember how to play football. And I think they could have won. They could have won that game against Indianapolis.
Yeah,
That had
here's
not
why I
been
stopped.
horrible conditions last week.
Here's why I started waffling. What do I routinely say? Don't give numbers to bad teams on the road.
Yep.
What am I doing right here? Giving numbers to a bad team on the road. I'm still taking San Francisco, but God, I want to watch 0 seconds of this game.
Right.
Do you know what the over-under on this? Set the over-under on this.
Set
Without
the
looking.
over-under. 41.
You're too high.
36.
It's 39.5.
Okay.
And I'm going under.
I agree.
I could see this being just a disgusting 400 total yard suck fest.
17-10, or is that too high?
That's about where I'm at.
Okay.
I think it's going to be something like that.
Yep.
It's just a question of which of these mediocre quarterbacks can get in the end zone twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put my faith in Jimmy Garoppolo.
I agree.
Watching people drop Allen Robinson in fantasy leagues has been kind of cathartic for me. Because I love the talent on him so much, but I agree he's 100%
He's
droppable.
Yeah. Get rid of him.
I want nothing to do with this game fantasy-wise.
I think I dropped him for Robert Tonyan this week. It hurt my soul to do.
Oof.
Yeah, I had Darren Waller on a bye. Had to have a tight end. He was the best one available, especially considering, the few targets that Aaron Rodgers had to work with last night. Anyhow, Jacksonville goes up to Seattle. The 12s, they're going to have to figure out something because that team sucks a whole bunch. And they're facing the Jacksonville Jaguars team that's had a bye week. They had a win the week before. So they could be feeling themselves coming into Seattle, but I don't think it matters.
I get Trevor Lawrence. You get Geno Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I get James Robinson. You get can't run a greasy peg up a cat's ass.
Right. Go Jaguars. 2 wins in
Taking
a
the
row.
Jags.
Okay. You think outright win?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm taking Seattle to cover the 3 at home. Don't give points to bad teams on the road. The 12s still believe in this team. I think it'll matter. They did kind of surprise me in their last game of how close they were able to keep it. And, Jacksonville going to find a way to beat Jacksonville.
Yep.
What's the over-under? This should be another 39.
It's more than that. I can tell you definitively it's more than that. 44.
Under.
Over.
Huh.
2 bad teams, 2 bad defenses, but there are still playmakers. I'm going over. This has sneaky, low-key shootout written all over it to me.
Okay. The New England Patriots at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers coming off that bye, still licking their wounds from the beatdown that they got at the hands of the Baltimore Ravens. Of course, the Patriots just absolutely killed the Jets last week. Chargers are a 5-point favorite at home. I did not realize how efficient. So we talk about Mac Jones and his efficiency.
He's hyper efficient.
And how efficient that offense just as a whole is. Surprises me. They're the number 10 team in the NFL in points per possession. They rank 1 spot behind the team that they're playing this week and the Los Angeles Chargers. But I don't think I care.
I don't care because I think the Chargers are going to beat them savagely. You're coming off an ugly loss.
Yep.
a bye week, and this is what you get. East Coast team coming west, which, no, that's not the same narrative. I get that. This is a long way from home. I don't like this game to be even vaguely close.
I don't either.
I like New England markedly better at home, as I do with most mediocre teams with mediocre quarterbacks. I could see Justin Herbert beating them savagely. I can see Justin Herbert having 400 yards in this game.
Right. New England Patriots, like I said, have been pretty good at scoring points. Like 47% of their possessions this year, they've scored at least something on, a field goal or a touchdown. It's 5th in the NFL, but you also got to consider who they played.
The Jets twice.
They played the Jets twice, the Dolphins, and the Texans. The other games they've had this year, they scored 29 points against the Dallas Cowboys and scored a combined 30 against the Buccaneers and the Saints.
Yeah, and if the Dallas Cowboys could have gotten in the end zone, that game would have been a 4-score game.
And
the
I think they're going to get pounded.
And this will.
Yeah, I think they're going to get pounded. Chargers minus the 5. And the over-under is?
The over-under on this game is? It's going to be a higher number than it should be. I have a funny feeling. 49.
Under.
Over. I was really hoping you were saying under. Yep, I'm on the over.
Okay. I'm going under there. I don't see New England scoring a whole lot.
I don't think they have to.
Really? You think that's how many
I can see
the Chargers
can
put
38 to 20.
Okay.
Matter of fact, that's my score projection for this game, 38 to 20. I do like Damian Harris, though. Chargers can't stop the run. Damian Harris has actually been an efficient, if you look at analytics and things like that, he's been a very good all-around running back. I think he has a big game. Big game.
Another matchup of bad teams in Colorado. We got Denver at home against the Washington football team. Denver's a 3-point favorite. Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, yeah, that's about it. Jerry Jeudy's going to be back, so I mean, there is a possibility here for Teddy Bridgewater to be Mr. Efficient. Find Cortland Sutton, find Jerry Jeudy, get everybody involved in the passing game, be able to run the ball with Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. The Washington football defense is the worst in the NFL. I don't care what PFF says. I think Washington is easily the worst defense in the league.
Yeah, and they looked a little better last week, and I think they're going to look a little better this week.
Oh, okay.
Denver is hitting that listless point of they're realizing we can't beat anything but the worst of the worst.
Right.
You can beat up on the Giants and the Jets. This is not what Washington is. Washington has talent. I like a lot of pieces of this game. I could see this is another game I could see being a low-key shootout. DFS, I could see nobody having this game. But for me, I'm looking at it going, I could see this being pretty good.
So what's your pieces? Terry McLaurin?
Terry McLaurin, Taylor Heineke, Jerry Jeudy.
Okay. I would go Cortland Sutton.
I'm not with Jeudy coming back. He's the better of the two receivers. And I think Cortland Sutton will draw number one coverage. And anytime I can get the lesser receiver drawing the better coverage, I'm going to take the other guy. I like Jerry Jeudy in this game. I like Washington to cover this. I'm not going to say easily, but I'm going to go Washington plus the 3, and I'll go over the 44.5.
Yeah, I would like it much more if I was given less points, but I'm still taking Denver to cover the 3 at home. I frankly think this is one that could very well push, being just a 3-point spread. So this would be one that I'd be waiting around to see if the bet us line on this is going to give me a hook or one way or the other. Because if it was 3.5, Washington, give me Washington. But I'll take Denver minus the 3 just for the gets and shiggles of it. And yes, you can lock in your wagers at betus.com, betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get your deposit bonus of 125% and up to $2,500. betus.com, promo code Sportsocracy. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 6-point favorites at the New Orleans Saints.
This should be reasonably quick.
Yep.
Because that is stupid.
Agreed. It should be 16. in my.
And that was stupid. I just love that I'm not having to give up a full touchdown.
Yeah.
I don't think New Orleans can't shoot out with Tampa Bay. I think Brady's going to be able to score. This is one of those games where you look at it and go, there's a massive talent deficiency on one side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it's in New Orleans. I don't care. I don't care if they played this in the middle of the ocean and only one team had life rafts. I'd still take the fucking Buccaneers to win this game.
Right. I'm with you. Alvin Kamara, he's going to be tough. He's always tough.
Yeah, but you know who's a great neutralizer of Alvin Kamara? Devin White.
Devin White, yeah.
It's like the best player in the NFL you could have manning the middle of your defense to defend Alvin Kamara.
But I mean, he's the only real weapon. I mean, there's the revenge game narrative with Jameis Winston and all that.
I've heard all that, and I don't care.
No,
I don't care. I could see bad Jameis coming out in this game.
Mm-hmm.
This has bad Jameis game written all over it because everybody's going to be on Jameis and the revenge narrative.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No. This is, of course, though, Marshawn Lattimore. He's going to be playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's good? Pretty good? Yeah. He has a pretty good record against Mike Evans. So if you have Mike Evans this week, you might want to consider fading him just a little bit.
Chris Godwin's the Bucs receiver I want.
You're right. And hopefully Gronk will be back. And maybe AB. So that could be big for the Tampa Bay offense. Like I said, Tampa Bay minus the 6. The line is dumb. The over-under is what?
The line on the over-under of this game is 50.5.
Under?
Over.
Yeah.
Over, but barely. I think they hit this one on the head. I had it at 51.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's a half-point difference for me.
Right.
I tend to try to set my lines on even numbers because they so often put a hook in the over-under.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only thing that really changed. I could easily set it at 50.
Right.
I don't think they missed this. I'm not trying to hammer this by any stretch.
Yeah.
I just think they missed it.
Final score prediction for me on this one. Hey, by the way, I hit the last one. I hit last week nailed it on the friggin' head, 38-3. I'm gonna say this one's 30-14, and that puts me under.
I'll go 38-27.
Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. Sunday Night Football. I actually like this matchup. It's going to be.
This is going to be one of the best games of the weekend.
Oh, it's going to be fun because both of these offenses are really good. You know, the defenses, on the other hand, that's another story. Now, we like Dallas's defense.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas doesn't. They give up way more yardage than they do points.
Yeah, here's the problem. Defensive ranking. If you just go by PFF grade.
Okay.
Where are the Minnesota Vikings?
26.
7. Where are the Dallas Cowboys?
17.
28.
That seems ridiculous to me. I mean, the Vikings can get after the quarterback, so I guess that's what's swinging this PFF ranking.
That doesn't hurt anything, that's for sure.
Right.
Smart money is all over Minnesota in this game.
No.
I mean, 60% of money on 20% of tickets.
Mm-hmm. I'm going the other way.
Dallas.
Yeah. I'm going the other way. Dallas minus the 2. And what?
I just don't know how you're going to stop CeeDee Lamb.
And I'm going to say over. I don't even know what the number is.
54.5.
Over.
55. It's actually going up to 55.
Okay. I'm still going to go over.
I'm going to go over. Mm-hmm. I don't want to, but I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
God, that's a lot.
Both these teams will be able to move the ball, and pretty much however they want to. I don't see the other defense completely taking the other team out of their game plan offensively.
I don't either. I just don't understand how Minnesota's going to be able to defend CeeDee Lamb, stop Amari Cooper, stop the run game. I mean, there's just so much that Dallas can throw at you. If you stop one thing, they're just going to throw something else at you.
Yeah. Bingo. Dallas minus the 2, over the 55.
55.
Monday Night Football this week. Got the New York Giants at the Kansas City Chiefs. Nobody in the NFL is more in need of a win than the Kansas City Chiefs.
And this is a real good way to get one.
Absolutely. You face a team and, the New York Giants who are coming off of the win against the Carolina Panthers. You don't go into this game thinking, or at least I don't think you do, thinking that the New York Giants are going to come in here, chest puffed up, all happy about their win last week. I'm sure there'll be a little bit of that. However, you are taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. While there may be sports writers around the country that are burying the Chiefs, saying they're no longer a postseason threat, they're no longer a thing, that's absolutely false to me. And every team in the NFL, I think, knows it.
This team needs to get right.
Mm-hmm.
As they sit right now, they're not. As they sit right now, they are not a playoff contender. They're closer to being the worst team in their division than they are being a playoff contender right now.
Agreed. But that
am I
can all
going to say
change.
they can't that they won't?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Right.
No.
It can all change.
They can easily figure this out and be better than one of those NFC or AFC North teams. That's where I think their birth comes from. I think they get in at the expense of either the Browns or the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think there'll be 2 come out of the South, 1 come out of the East, 3 come out of the West, and then that would keep just 1 out of the North, and that's the Cleveland or the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah. As bad as Kansas City has been, Vegas still has them as a 10-point favorite.
By the way, I do have Baltimore as a playoff team. I just somehow I fucked that up in my head. I just don't know how, and you know what I'm saying.
We understand.
They got 8 playoff teams, 7 spots. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So Kansas City's a 10-point favorite.
9.5.
9.5 now? Okay. I don't care.
And I had to
I'm
mark
taking
it at
Kansas
10,
City to
so
cover.
That made it real easy. Kansas City.
Kansas City. Over under?
52.5.
Under.
Over!
Oh, you think they're going to shoot out?
Oh, God, I could see this being 52-30. I could see this over-under covering in the third quarter. So neither one of these teams could stop anybody.
Mm-hmm.
These are 2 god-awful defenses. And the Giants' offense is not horrid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would you be shocked if Daniel Jones had a good game in this game?
No.
If you get back Kadarius Toney or Kenny Galladay or Sterling
Shepard, yeah.
I mean, I think 2 of those 3 are going to play.
I'd agree with
Who
that.
it is, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Ingram may not be out there because I have a funny feeling he's not going to be a New York Giant when we convene to do this next week.
Ooh.
There's a lot of interest on Evan Ingram.
I think there should be.
There's a belief that he's just been used wrong by Jason Garrett, and that's the reason he hasn't hit his potential. And
he could very well be one of those needs a new change of scenery kind of guys.
And I firmly believe that.
Yeah. So Kansas City minus the 10. I'm going under the number.
I'm going over
aggressively
a lot.
I think this is where, look, here's the thing. If Kansas City can't get a win here, just pack it in, be done.
You lose this game, you're in trouble.
Yeah. You lose this game, the rest of your games for the rest of the year are going to be competitive.
Oh, they lose this game on national television, this will be the only thing you hear about Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
You will not hear another story on any station that's not, what's wrong with the Kansas City Chiefs?
Mm-hmm.
But when they come out and win this game by 3 touchdowns like I think they're going to, you won't hear any of that shit for a week.
Exactly. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. Of course, we have all of your game-by-game previews and recaps right here on the Sportsocracy. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you get all of our content. Join us live every weekday morning at 10 a.m., Join us at 3 p.m. every weekday afternoon. We now have the Sportsocracy radio show on ESPN Asheville streaming here on the YouTube channel.
We'll
and
be
as
here
well
today with all the betting picks. I have about 111,000 of them for you. So.
And you can join Jeremy at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning as he gets you prepped up
all by myself
for the fantasy football day. It's playoff time for the Asheville Extreme Youth Football Program, so I'm going to be down with Joseph and the 10U team down in Columbia, South Carolina on Sunday. So it's all Jeremy's answering your fantasy questions.
I'm going to be here on Halloween in costume, bitches.
Sorry, I'm going to miss that. The costume is fantastic, though, by the way.
I may not be a smart man, but I do know what love is.
So, again, hit that subscribe button. Join us every time we're here. We love to see your comments in the comment section. And, I will see you on Monday.
I'll see you Sunday.